Come on, don't be scared. Hear me out now, fuck what you heard. You misspoke, now you spitting broken word. What you about to say it out, that shit's for the birds. Be cool, cause I ain't playing no games. Better know I ain't in it for the fame. Tired of y'all calling me out my name, meditating on my purpose. I ain't studying you lanes. Don't direct me, I choose where to go. Niggas stripping cause the bar so low.
Hey, 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 what's good? Shout out to Erica Leshai. Shout out to Erica Leshai YouTube. Erica Leshai, the songstress. Is that what they call songstress? She's a songwriter, singer. One of my favorite content creators on YouTube. I enjoy her energy the same way I enjoy ZZ's from A to Z TV. I think they're very similar in their consciousness of our condition. I think they're realistic about consequences we face. And I think that these sisters are passionate and sincere and genuine about resolve, healing, remedy, recourse. It's only a few channels on YouTube, a few content creators on YouTube that I've discovered that, I can connect with, on this level. Everything else is just some bullshit for the most part to pass the time, catch you up on some irrelevance. She posted a video earlier this month titled Gender War, Do We Really Need Each Other? I appreciate this post, this particular upload, because we need to get into this, and it's more levels to what's being addressed here than we even can fathom for the most part. But we gotta deal with what we can get to, and we're not getting to enough. You know what I mean? So we definitely have to step up our efforts to address a gender war and our need for each other. So let's go from the top. I want to do this because I gotta get long-winded. I get to digressing and talking about other stuff. I want to be more disciplined. This is why I write everything. And I wrote another contribution, another afterthought on the website, filmlit.org, FILMLIT, film, like how you watch a film, lit, LIT as in literature, as in the fire is lit, filmlit.org. That's where you can find the afterthought contributions. But I definitely wrote to an article to her post regarding the gender war. When we dealing with the current paradigm, 21st century, we're in the 20s, in the 21st century. I'm a millennial. I think she's a millennial. Most of us are millennials. We're starting to be more outspoken. We're starting to be accepted as a dynamic, mature force now in the world, engaged, intertwined, linked with the world's systems. So a lot of the growing pains that are being felt globally is coming from millennials shaking shit up, addressing things, tearing shit down. We were born to do this. We are a feisty generation. We're an aggressive generation. We were a little spoiled, so we struggled, but our struggles were different than, our ancestors' struggles, who were struggling for resources. For the most part, we had our foundational resources, and now our struggle is more about principles, morality, and values, because we can eat now. We have a roof over our head. We got running water. The lights are on. So we don't have to obsess so much with securing our foundational essentials and necessities to survive. Our parents, grandparents, and everybody who old is not an elder, but I'll say our elders and older folks, they handle that. They handle that. In that course, though, our way got lost. Our way as a people, our way as a culture, our way as spiritual or soul beings. That shit went out the window. I mean, I damn near feel like it went out the window for food and shelter. Like, was that the bargain to stay in America? Throw your faith, your culture, your spirit, your soul out the window to eat here, to survive here? Just putting that up. Let me see. I'm digressing already. All right, let's get to the point. I'm gonna pull up the afterthought so it can keep me on track. So, gender war. Let's start right there, and we're gonna go from gender war. I'm speaking English, and I'm speaking English because I'm indoctrinated. This language is not native to my people, my culture, my tribal nation. I'm a prisoner of war. This is my land. It was stolen. You know, you know what I mean? So I I am still feeling and living through the effects of being held hostage, being oppressed on my land, being indoctrinated and imposed upon with foreign and alien ideologies and ways of being or whatnot. Indoctrination, right? So we have to understand that it's, when we use these terms, when we use these words, we are borrowing another entity's technology. This technology, English, and a lot of the political sphere going on here. This is foreign technology for melanoid beings. So we have to keep that in perspective. When you use words like war, gender war, is how she started it off. That's going to trigger me because I'm a warrior energy. I'm a warrior entity. I was born for war. I was born to fight. You know, it's one of the most comfortable spaces for me to be in as a war zone because I mean, what they would call a natural born killer. It's not gonna bother me to put somebody to sleep forever. Like, you know, so when she said war, I was definitely triggered to that and wanted to delve deeper because now genders, male, female, I ain't playing them games with all the new stuff they trying to do. It's male and female when it comes to gender. Notice when we are indoctrinated to recognize ourselves from elementary on up, male and female, we're taught that we're opposites. Male and female are opposites. So the root word of opposite is to oppose. Well, to oppose is opposition. I mean, oppose, opposite, that's war. It means there's a line and there's somebody on that side and somebody on that side and they oppose each other. So our indoctrination sets us up for failure if we accept that. If we embrace that what this alien force, this alien invading force, we're going to call them mankind. What mankind has taught us about being opposites as male and female is a bona fide lie. It's stupid. It's dumb and it's retarded. And I got more words, but I'm gonna leave it at that just so because I feel you got the point. But what we are is polar energies. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with polarity, you're dealing with a single line and different ends on the line. The North Pole, the South Pole, single line. the east and the west or whatnot. Hey, you got me over there, I got you over here. You good over there? We good over here. We're on the same line, we're on the same team. My weight is keeping you from flying off the thing. Yo, that weight is keeping me from flying off the thing, you know? We're balancing out. And that's what male and female relations or the relationship is. It's a polar relationship. The divine masculine and the divine feminine on the same line, on the same chord, stabilizing each other. You know what I mean? As we walk through this set of circumstances and conditions we call life, as we navigate and orientate ourselves. Is it orient or orientate? Oh, I gotta look that up. Through this journey, we balance each other. So male and female are polar energies, not opposites. If you embrace us as opposites, you will always be at war. You will always be in a fight. When we embrace each other according to the divine science, according to the technological layout, then you can see that both are immediate requirements for life to manifest and to perpetuate. Neither is more valuable than the other when it comes to the holistic situation we call life. So that's just dealing with gender war. I'm going to have to say that our indoctrination out the gate from a baby, as soon as they tell you that whatever you are, the other gender is your opposite, you're at war as soon as they tell you or teach us that we are opposites and not polar energies. Moving on to the next point, I almost did a video I was going to entitle, Did Eve Make Another Deal with the Devil? Erica beat me to the punch. In this same video, let me go to the joint, she speaks to the success of black women in the United States of America, within the United States of America construct. And at the same time, you have this measured success, there's a significant degree of unhappiness or unfulfillment. Whew, have I been studying this? Why? Because I lived through it. Women all over my life, black women. You know, black biological mother, black biological grandmother, stepmother, twin sister, baby sister, hella cousins, hella girlfriends. So I know the black female as a specimen, as a subject, as a being. I've studied the black female more than I've studied any other life form on the planet, in the world, on or off the planet. Like, to keep it a buck. So I'm very confident in my understanding and comprehension of our sisters. I've witnessed the rise and fall of many women, as we all have, in our own house, in our own families, as they pursued courses of happiness that America indoctrinated them to pursue. Failure is the end game there. This is what Erica is pointing out, how the bachelor degrees, the master degrees, through the roof, don't equate to happiness. The employment wages, employment opportunities, careers. Black women the sisters blowing the brothers out the water. It's embarrassing. It's not even close. Still doesn't equate to happiness. So when I look at it, I had to really examine the relationship between black women her man, us, black men, and these institutions that she invests so much energy into thriving and becoming successful in. So I'm looking at the 70s, I'm looking at the 80s, and I'm starting to see a trend. I'm starting to see a pattern, right? Well, let's get to now. And then we'll go back. Right now, what I see is, so let me put it like this. I know who you riding with, or who you really are committed to or faithful to, or are prioritizing as your source when shit hit the fan and you in trouble. And when I look at our black women's relationship with the black man, she runs to the government, to churches, to schools, and to careers whenever shit hits the fan with us. Which makes me think that her man is not us. Her man is the white man. Because that's who runs the political sphere that passes her feminist rights that she's looking to get or acquire. That's who's controlling all of these institutions, that's giving her degrees and diplomas or whatnot, certifications and licenses and permits. That's coming out of the white boy. That's who's giving you child support, custody over the child, enforcing child support. That's who's giving you welfare to cover your living expenses and your home expenses if you need that. And if you don't need that, that's who likely supplied your career, your six-figure job or whatnot. Again, what I see black women got it in their head, you know what, nigga? I can always run to this white boy to make it. I can get a degree from him. I can get a job from him. If I don't feel like working, I can go to court and he'll make you pay for shit. And a part of me feel like he your man then. He your man. Because if he not, then you gonna have to stay home and work it out with me. You ain't got nowhere to run. See, when I'm your man, when the black man is your man, you ain't got nowhere to run to when shit hit the fan. You gotta stay home and work it out. Yeah, go into a time I go to your corner with your parents or your mother, your mother and father's house and chill for a second. You know, we'll retreat to family. But at the end of the day, you're coming back home. You can run back to the nest and get right with your nest, your siblings and your cousins and your parents. But you're coming back home and work it out after that. They just get you back ready to get back, get that Vaseline on, you know what I'm saying? Get you back ready and throw you back in the game. Like, go work it out. Go work it out. Y'all fix that. Y'all get it right. That's how it looks when we are really your man. But when we your boo on the side, when we the, I ain't gonna do that, but when we are not priority, then the sisters will have it in their mind, if it don't work out with him, I still got a man who controls this world that's gonna make sure that I eat, that I got a roof over my head, that I'm secure. I would love for you sisters to speak to that. Let me move forward so I don't get too long-winded. So when I'm looking at our men from the 70s, now let's take it back, because I'm just flabbergasted. I never use that word, flabbergasted. Make sure I said it. What does that word even mean? I think it means really like shocked and appalled. I like long sounding funny words sometimes because it just helps with your pronunciation. Flabbergasted is kind of hard. Flabbergast. Look at that. Two B's. To overcome with surprise and bewilderment. Astounded. Yes, I'd rather say astounded. I may not ever use the word flabbergasted again. I hate how it looks. It's an ugly spelling. It's just, I don't even like how it sounds. It's a funny word. It's flabbergasted. It's a funny word. Astounded. I'm astounded. I forgot what the hell I was astounded by. Talking about that word. What are we talking about? Oh, the 70s to now. When you look at the relationships that black men and black women had back then, when we were being conceived, when we were just in the imagination, when we were still among the stars, that's when black men and white men just came out of a very intense struggle, fight, quarrel, kind of. It was the civil rights era. It was they had to deal with Marcus Garvey in the 20s, 30s, and then they had to start dealing with Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and got the civil rights movements and Jim Crow and all, and it's just non-stop black versus racist white, blatantly racist white. We still live in racist America, but blatant racist white America, legal racist white. We're still legally racist, but real legal racist white America. So black men were worn the hell out, and then at the same time, you had that struggle. The arts paralleled it. Jazz and blues took the hell off. Harlem Renaissance popping. Then we came into rock and roll, and it just got crazy when you mix the music, and then at the same time, then you got prohibition was going on, which was a side hustle. Like I might have said it on ZZ channel. I used to trap, shawty. I trapped for like 5-6 years. I kind of downplayed it, like did it a couple of times, but I was in that game, and it's important to have a trap. So prohibition, they had made alcohol illegal back then. We had our moonshine popping. So we hustling moonshine. We got the music, and then we got the struggle. All blended in. You got crackers trying to kill you as soon as you walk out the door. Trying to grow some liquor in the backyard because you can't even buy nothing to just take the pain out, just to take the stress out. You know what I mean? And then you got this good music playing. That's just speaking your spirit. Then you got these fine ass women walking around still looking natural, still with the natural hair and skin glowing. Amidst and among it all, they still fine. So our men were just like, moonshine, rock and roll, beautiful queen, this bitch ass cracker. So coming into the 70s and 80s, the intellectual ones of us were pretty exhausted, especially and heartbroken. Martin Luther King got assassinated. Marcus Garvey got shipped off to die alone. Malcolm X got assassinated, and we know all the horror stories in between and before and after. So heartbroken. You talking about we're going into the 70s, 80s. Heartbroken. CIA hadn't infiltrated. Black Panther Party got compromised by the bitch nigga, and by that bitch nigga. By that bitch nigga. What that nigga name? Judas Black Messiah. Forgot that nigga name. That I'm glad so we got there. That bitch nigga right there set off a new paradigm, a new wave. Because the same type of bitch nigga that the CIA or the FBI used to infiltrate the Black Panther Party is the same bitch nigga, the same kind. It's a vibration. This is a nigga that will do anything for himself and his ego and say fuck his people and fuck his culture. That's a bitch ass nigga. That's who sold crack in our neighborhoods. White boys can come up in there and sell crack. You needed a bitch ass nigga to sell crack that lived there already. And white people said, you know what? This is gonna work for us. We gonna make the bitch ass niggas of the black culture, the black communities, the rich ones. We're gonna make them the ones that have all the money. We're gonna give them the control and the power. And now we live in a fuckboy bitch nigga society where you see the stupidest, dumbest, most ignorant of our people got the most money. And the most royal, or the ones that sticking to the principles and the moral codes of ancient times, we're the ones that have to live more humbly and meekly, because that life is not supported financially. Who you gonna sell that to? In a slave society, in a retarded society, who are you gonna sell royalty intelligence to? How is that good commerce? No, you want to make money in these days, you gotta sell something stupid. You gotta market something retarded. Then that shit flies off the shelves. Then your channel blows up. I'm digressing. You know why I had to bring that up? Or however we got over there. Erica, and there's another channel, it's a bro I watch, MTR. Shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews. A little long, I got it though. Shout out to that brother. Him and Erica had a very passive aggressive, indirect thing. Erica ended up snapping on one of her videos. And she do. She snaps. She go hard. She a black woman. She's a woman. She's a person. Shit. We all go to fuck off. And I'm sure it's crazy motherfuckers up in these comments, talking crazy. I don't know yet. My channel not popping. But, when they get there, I'm sure I'll witness it. So she went the hell off. I think I saw some of it. But I saw it again when he spoke on MTR, did a video reacting to her video with her snapping. And then, he made his comments or whatnot. And then I saw another one of her videos where she responded to MTR reacting to her video. So I'm like, okay, I watch both of y'all channels, so this is interesting, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw ZZ interview MTR on her channel. So this is really coming full circle for me. That's why I was like, let me go ahead and get in this space since I'm already kind of, flirting with it a little bit. But anyway, I think the major dispute, like I said, it was indirect. They didn't directly come for each other at all. It was all respect. There's no beef. Definitely wouldn't say there's a beef or anything, but just some contention based on where each one stands. And the subject matter is conditional submission. Conditional submission. Whereas MTR is like, fuck that, I'm a man. Period. Enough said. Like, that should be all you need to know in order for the submission and compliance and cooperation to transpire, And to an extent, I understand that point. And the extent that I understand it is, I'm a man. Battery died, so my fault. I don't even remember where I was at. What was talking about? Bitch niggas gender war. Do we really need each other? The beef, not really a beef. Let me not call it that. The not really a debate. The contention. So Erica and MTR, I think, came to a disagreement when it comes to conditional submission. I personally don't even like the word submission like that because, again, sub means to put under or to be under. And it's really a compound word. I mean, well, I guess you could call it a compound word, but it's really a root word with a prefix added onto it, which is just sub. So if you're going to break it down like that, submission, I suppose the suggestion is the man is the mission and the woman is the complement or the foundation underneath. But again, I'm not really I don't want to get into the semantics too much. But submission is a trigger word. We just need to be conscious and careful, period, when using that word these days because it's an abused word. The point or what's being communicated when that's being used is the man is the head of the household. We need the woman to complement his decision making, the order and the law that he establishes for the space. We need, man generally expects the woman to be the enforcement or the co-enforcer of the laws established. It's old school, and it definitely needs to be thrown. What needs to be thrown out the window is that every man is worthy, qualified, or deserves that level of respect. If you want a woman to submit to you or anyone to submit to you, then you need to first demonstrate you ain't about to kill every fucking body that's following you, or you know what I mean? If you in the driver of the bus, everybody need to know you ain't about to drive that bitch off a cliff. You know what I mean? So I don't understand the contention with our women when they ask men to prove themselves or demonstrate or present evidence that they are qualified to essentially take care of them. Because a woman, when she's with a man, because we always speak to the dominance of men in the physical space, which is a fact, that means if a woman shares in the space, she's vulnerable. On a physical level, she's vulnerable. So if we're going to expect her to just be submitting herself to spaces where she knows she's going to be vulnerable, it would behoove us to be more considerate and respectable about how much intelligence she needs to have in order to know which spaces to go into, which men are safe. Submit to what man? Again, I'm in Atlanta. This is a city that is notorious for sex trafficking as well. They snatching up males and females out here for sex trafficking, organ harvesting, and all of this wicked, diabolical shit. We are at war. How does a black woman know she's not being set up to be thrown in the back of a fucking van, to be raped and have her organs harvested after that. So, men, message to you, note to you, unless you want a dumbass bitch or a raggedy trifling ass hoe who don't give a fuck who she lay down with or going off into the sunset and the moonlight with because she just about that dollar, unless you want her, which is a dime a dozen for real out here in most of these streets in this country breeds that now, then expect to prove yourself in some shape, form, or fashion to a woman of intelligence who cares about herself, who has self-respect, self-esteem, and is aware of the times, the conditions, and the circumstances. A woman who has a father that has prepared her, a woman that has brothers and cousins and other male figures that secure her. You have to be ready to embrace the intelligence of the women. Our women have to be intelligent to defend themselves against the lies and the conniving games being played by society. I mean, it's all societal members for the most part. It's not male or female, but we don't live in honest times. We don't live in times of integrity and sincerity and being genuine. So I am all in on the sister's side when it comes to conditional submission, because as far as I'm concerned, it's just a sign or a reflection of intelligence. It lets me know you're not willing to submit yourself to some fucking monster out there, and you end up getting your shit all compromised and stuff. So this is not I ain't coming at the bruh MTR, because I think his channel is balanced for the most part. I probably disagree, anywhere between 20-25% of the time, and I appreciate that, because even in ways that I disagree with some of the perspective, I'm still enlightened by that perspective. There's still a growth opportunity in it. It's not a right or wrong. It's a So, but that was a point that I don't think the brother fully either recognizes or acknowledges that we have amongst the black male population a significant bitch nigga problem. And I would argue way more bitch niggas out of the black men. I'd say out of 100% black men in America, at least 60% got to be bitch ass nigga. Just a bitch ass, bending over, puss ass, bussy, popping nigga. And then out of the 40% left, probably about a good 30, 20. Let's say a good 20% is just straight nigga. just a nigga ass nigga. And then, what's left? 20%. I say out of that, 18% is probably like coon, the barracoon. That's just gonna go ahead and your Al Sharptons, your Barack Obamas. You know what I mean? Those I got a lot of names. I don't want to start throwing names out on the channel too early. I'm not monetized, but I fuck around and get canceled if I start. But you got the coon, and then that last little 2%, that's us. Me and my bros. You know what I mean? We ain't on no bitch shit. We ain't on no nigga shit. We ain't on coon shit. We are Nubians. We are royal. We are melanoid beings, and we are straight as a laser beam, heterosexual. Ain't no gay shit over here. None of that bullshit amongst the Nubians. And we are fearless. We're very warriory, and we were basically born to deal with all this shit. Our numbers can be low. We don't need high numbers, in the royal community. You know what I mean? So yeah, just speaking to the conditional submission, I can understand. Not only can I understand, I do understand, and I think it's necessary for our sisters to be very selective about who they submit to. And even again, submission, that goes back and forth, because it'll be situations. I have girlfriends where I'm like, hey, we on this, we on that, we on, and they like, oh yeah, cool, that's nothing say back. And then there'll be other venues or events we about to go hit up, and she let me know, hey, I need you here, and I'm like, hey, whatever you say, you got it. Cause I don't know nothing about that shit. I don't care nothing about that shit. You got it. I'm gonna do what you say do. So even when you're dealing with the word submission, the women are gonna run what's feminine based, and the man is gonna submit to her when it comes to feminine based things, and the woman will submit to the man when it comes to masculine based things. So there's still a balance in that whole situation. Let's get to more of this war, because in modern times we're faced with the measurement of success, the measurement of value. And that's what's causing a lot of the strife. That's what's causing a lot of the contention. Black men don't think they're good enough for our women these days, because our women, her man is the white boy. If she depends on the white boy for her things and stuff, that's her man. If she gonna call him on me, she call her man on me. So when it comes to what is success, well, if you valuing me as a successful man according to this white boy's standards and his currency, mind you, money, 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 on 100% of every fiat currency you spend in America, that dollar, that coin, is a slave owning cracker face embedded, embossed. I think it's called embossed when it raises up. That's who you love. That's who you worship. That's who you move for day in and day out. That's whose will, a lot of our sisters adhere to. That I mean, it's saying God we trust on the money and on the face of the money, that God that you trust is your slave master. That's the one who raped you. It's the one who cut the balls off your father. It's the one who fed your babies to crocodiles and gators. That money, that face on the money. And their children, their kids today running this work. So there are those of us in the Nubian community that do feel a type of way when you are prioritizing that wicked ass cursed currency, that cursed symbol of wealth, and you using that to determine my value. You got me fucked up, shawty, for real. One, Retarded people are millionaires. Stupid people, dumbass people are millionaires. How is this so? Because it doesn't require intelligence to make $1 million. It's what you will do for the money. You have energy, it has value. Are you willing to sell it? And how? This is when you get into what's sacred about your life, what's sacred about your temple. And for certain ones of us, we got stuff going on that's too sacred to sell. So it's going to take us a little longer to get certain bags. But we can get little easy bags to pay for little dumb shit. It's like, shit, you ain't never going to be hungry. You ain't never going to be homeless. You ain't never going to be without basic necessities rocking with me. But if you want to go spend and splurging on stupid shit, well, get you a trick, shawty. Get you a trick. Because we have to take this whole thing over, but before we have a luxurious lifestyle, we got too much of our family in hell to be trying to live extravagantly. We are suffering from too much of a mental crisis and ailment and spiritual crisis and soul ailment to be out here acting like we winning and running every fucking thing. You're part of the diluted game. You're part of that diluted reality that's locked down by the anchors, drugged up and drunk off of all of these potions and shit that coming up out of these labs. So I think I'm digressed up. But anyway, you see my point. We're caught up in this debate where we're still figuring out and determining the metric system of how we're going to evaluate the black man and the black woman. And let's explore this. Let's explore this metric system, because she also mentions epigenetics, which definitely is relevant because our traumas from slavery have been passed down genetically through the DNA, which means there is slave DNA in your system. That's what I'm going to say. When it comes to epigenetics, there is slave DNA in your system. There's also royal DNA in your system. Because before you were enslaved as a prisoner of war on your land, you were a royal chief, chiefs, prince, princess, king, queen. What you activate is your journey. That's your course in life. It's based on what you activate. That's how you're going to live. You're going to activate the slave in you. You're going to activate the king and queen in you. The systems of the world are designed to kill the royal nature and to activate and sustain the slave nature. I want to look at, in the article in the Afterthought that's published on my website, I bring up Bobby Brown, because this is how our women are going to have to determine who they're going to be with in life moving forward. I said our women, I'm only speaking to black women right now. I only been speaking to black women for the whole time, except, bros too. But other folk, if you're listening, that's what's up. I ain't talking to you, but that's what's up. So, black folk, the whole of the black community, foundational Black America. I have to announce, and I'll make a formal announcement in the coming weeks or months, because shit is getting real fast. We are at war. There is a civil war between or amongst foundational Black America. I'm going to help draw the line right now. There is an extension of foundational Black America that only relates to, or that mostly relates to, the slave and the slave culture, a slave way of eating, a slave way of thinking, a slave way of being entertained, a slave way of dying because you damn sure ain't living. And then, and this is the nigga community. Amongst the niggas, you got bitches and hoes and homos and coons, and these are all variant mutations of the plantation. See, when you're on a plantation, out of your element, out of your order, out of how you do your thing, out of your culture, out of whack for what, 4-5 centuries and such, you're gonna mutate. There are mutations. So this is what you get. Nigga, God ain't make no nigga. The Most High, the creator, nah, he ain't make no nigga. White boy made that. You're mutant. Mutant hoe. Teenage mutant bitch. Teenage mutant nigga coon. You know? And then you have those of us who present ourselves and walk as how our creator, the architect, the Most High, designed and intended a purposeful life. We're the Nubians. We're royal beings. So we never owned or accepted slavery. I was like, no, I'm no slave. I was a prisoner. Forced labor. You know what I mean? Lost that particular fight. Lived to fight another day. Still here. So, Nubians versus niggas. Foundational Black America. Coming soon. Let me wind this up. Let me wrap this up. Let me end this before I get too long-winded if I haven't done so already. Go to my website and read the article. That's why I wrote all this. Not to read it to you, but I did want to give you a little video. So, circling back to Erica Leshai's question, do we really need each other? The Nubians do. Absolutely. Absolutely, Quan. I like to say Quan, Qun, because I think queen is ambiguous now. You know, you got queen bitches and you got drag queens and all that. I ain't even comfortable with the word. I don't even know if people know what I'm talking about if I say queen nowadays. So I say Quan, just Qun. You know, let me know if y'all gonna rock with that. If not, I don't know. I'm just throwing some new stuff out there. Just not, because they're trying to steal words and claim them as their own thing. And then if you use the word, then people think you talking about what they talking about. And it's like, I ain't even talking about that. They talking about that word been there before they started making it that thing. So, well, I can't use it no more, you know. But let me know what y'all think about Quan. The Quan. So Erica Leshai is a Quan. And yes, absolutely. The Nubian women really need the Nubian men. The Nubian men really need the Nubian women. The Nubian men are going to war. We're at war. We've embraced it. We own it. We accept it. This is our life day in and day out. You need a woman for that. I'm single and all that. So it ain't like you're going to die if you don't have a woman by your side. As long as you're healthy, you're intelligent, you're in your right mind, you're doing your work, you're going to be sustained. But a woman make it a lot sweeter, a lot more pleasant, you know. So absolutely, we do really need each other. What we don't need, and then to the nigga community, no would be the answer though. No, if I was a nigga, do we really? No. If I was a bitch or hoe, no. Because that's the mentality over there. So this question is really specific to who's answering. Because Again, if you coming from the nigga mentality, the coon mentality, nah, you don't need nothing but your white slave master cracker face, green fancy paper with the blue strip and Fuck everybody else. Fuck your people. You know what I mean? So nah, you don't really need anybody. Because you're retarded. Because you're out of mind. So your answer would be nah. But those of us who have passed the test of sobriety, who done woke up, got that crush out, seeing it for what it is, like, oh shit, yeah, we're in trouble. Yo, we need everybody. We need, wake some more folks up. You know what I mean? But wake up those who are going to be on the side of righteousness and commit to the royal work. Leave them niggas sleep and let them die in their sleep. Let me end this. Let me end this video. I feel like I'm getting aggressive, but I just want to say I appreciate the contribution to the YouTube space from Erica Leshai. Shout out to your sister. I am going to do more videos, more content. I'm still figuring out my setup and my flow. But I got a lot to talk about. And I have to figure out, you know, who my viewership is, who my audience is. So let's enjoy the journey and the process. Peace and love.
Don't direct me, I choose where to go. Niggas tripping cause the bar so low. Any feelings cause you're moving too slow. The supreme sovereign king changes things cause I say so. They say you're supposed to